Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This time we will going to learn about lime soda process. So let's start. So what is lime soda process? It is basically a type of external water treatment method. So in industrial water treatment, the lime soda process comes under external water treatment. So in industries, we have basically two types of treatments. One is internal water treatment and second one is external water treatment. In internal water treatment, we usually treat the water inside the boiler, whereas in case of external water treatment, we treat the water before feeding it into the boiler. So lime soda process is one of them. It comes under external water treatment method. So let us learn about the principle of this process. So the basic principle of the process is to convert soluble impurities into insoluble precipitates. And how do we achieve these insoluble precipitates? We get this precipitate by adding calculated quantity of lime and soda. So lime and soda are the two reagents which are used for treating the hardness causing salts in water. So what we do in this process, we basically add lime and soda so as to get insoluble precipitates of calcium, magnesium, iron and aluminium. So after the completion of the reaction, the precipitate which are obtained are allowed to settle down and then they are filtered off. So in this way, we can make the water free from hardness causing salts. We have two types of lime soda process. One is hot lime soda process and second one is cold. The only difference between the two process is the presence of filter and the temperature. That is, the cold lime soda process takes place at room temperature, whereas the hot process takes place around 100 degrees Celsius. Rest, the principle remains the same. So let us see what are the chemical equations which are involved. So in this process, we need to convert all soluble impurities into insoluble precipitates. So let us see how can we do that. So let us see first removal of temporary calcium and magnesium hardness. We know that carbonates and bicarbonates causes temporary hardness. So here in first equation, calcium bicarbonate is taken. This is the temporary salt of calcium. So the most stable precipitate of calcium is its carbonate. So we need to convert this calcium bicarbonate into calcium carbonate. So for this we will going to add a molecule of lime so that we will get calcium carbonate plus 2 molecules of water. So here calcium bicarbonate, when treated with a molecule of lime, it is precipitate out in the form of calcium carbonate. In second equation, we have taken a temporary salt of magnesium. So we know that magnesium is precipitate out in the form of hydroxide. So we need to convert this magnesium bicarbonate into its hydroxide. So for doing so, we will going to treat it with a molecule of lime. So first we will going to add one molecule of lime. After adding one molecule of lime, we will get twice 2 molecule of calcium carbonate and 1 molecule of magnesium hydroxide. So for balancing this 2 molecules of calcium carbonate, we need to add 2 molecules of lime. So here the overall requirement of the magnesium bicarbonate is 2 molecules of lime. So by adding 2 molecules of lime, magnesium bicarbonate precipitate out in the form of magnesium hydroxide, whereas calcium hydroxide which we have added is precipitated out in the form of calcium carbonate and the byproduct is water. So in this way we have removed the temporary hardness of calcium and magnesium. We need to learn that for removing a temporary hardness of calcium we require 1 molecule of lime, whereas for the removal of temporary hardness of magnesium we require 2 molecules of lime. So this is our requirement. Now let us see how can we remove the permanent hardness of magnesium. So we know that chloride, sulfate, nitrates, that is ions other than carbonates and bicarbonates causes permanent hardness. So we have taken here two examples, magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate. So as we know that the most insoluble precipitate of magnesium is its oxide. So here also we need to convert chlorides and sulfates into hydroxide. So how can we do this? So for this, we need to treat both the salts with lime. By treating them with the lime, we will get magnesium hydroxide along with some salts of calcium. Now look at these salts. These salts have a permanent nature. So we need to remove these salts also. So we can remove these salts by treating them with the soda. So in this slide we have learned that how can we remove the temporary and permanent hardness of some salts of calcium and magnesium. Let us see how can we remove the salts of aluminium and iron. So the most insoluble precipitate of iron is its hydroxide, and most insoluble precipitate of aluminium is its hydroxide. So what we need to do? We need to convert the given salts into its hydroxide form. So for getting the hydroxide of ferrous sulfate, we need to add single molecule of lime. So by treating ferrous sulfate with lime, we will get FeOH whole twice plus calcium sulfate. So here ferrous sulfate is precipitate out in the form of ferrous hydroxide, whereas calcium sulfate is generated, which we need to remove further. Now let us take second example, aluminium trisulfate. So aluminium trisulfate, when treated with lime, we will get aluminium hydroxide in a precipitate form. So this can be filtered off along with a byproduct of calcium sulfate. So this is again a permanent salt of calcium. So we need to remove this calcium sulfate by adding soda. Now let us see how can we remove dissolved carbon dioxide and H2S. For removing carbon dioxide, what we need to do? Actually this is 2. For removing carbon dioxide, we need to treat it with lime. So here you can see when CO2 is treated with lime, it is precipitate out in the form of calcium carbonate. So here calcium carbonate is precipitated out and is filtered. So carbon dioxide is converted into CaCO3. In the similar way, we can separate or we can precipitate out H2S in the form of calcium sulfide. So here are some reactions by which we have seen that how can we use lime and how can we convert all the soluble impurities into insoluble precipitates. Also, we can use lime for the removal of mineral acids. Let's see. If mineral acids are present as impurity, for example, HCl and H2SO4. So, in this case, HCl is precipitated out in the form of calcium chloride, whereas H2SO4 is precipitated out in the form of calcium sulfate. So here these acids are converted into permanent hard salts, right? So these permanent hard salts are again can be removed by adding soda. So we need to see now how can we add soda in further equations. So by using all the above equation, we will get calculated quantity of lime for the process. So for treating acids, we require 1 mole of lime. Similarly, we can calculate the amount of soda also. Now let us see how can we use soda for the removal of salts. As we have seen in earlier slides that during the formation of insoluble precipitates, somewhere in some equations, we have generated permanent hardness of calcium as well. So these permanent hardness can be removed by soda. How can we remove this? Let us see. If calcium chloride is generated, then what is calcium chloride and what is calcium sulfate? These are the permanent salts of calcium. And we know that calcium salts, the insoluble precipitate of calcium is calcium carbonate. So here also we need to convert salts of calcium into its carbonate. So by adding soda we can get carbonate. How? Look here. Calcium chloride when treated with sodium carbonate, then this calcium is combined with carbonate and we will get a calcium carbonate. Rest what is left? Na and Cl. So this NaCl is obtained as a byproduct. Salts of sodium do not cause any harm to the boiler water. Similarly, calcium sulfate when treated with soda, we will get calcium carbonate and sodium sulfate. So in this way, by adding soda, we can remove the permanent hardness of calcium. So for removing the permanent hardness of calcium, the overall requirement of soda is 1. The chemical reactions involved in the lime soda process are quite slow. Moreover, the precipitates formed particularly of that is calcium carbonate and hydroxides of magnesium, they are very fine and have a tendency to form supersaturated solutions. And these results in after deposition of these precipitates. So later these precipitates are found deposited in boiler tubes leading to the clogging and corrosion. So these problems can be solved by giving proper time for the mixture to be settled down for completion of the reaction. That is, proper time for the completion of the reaction should be provided so that the thorough mixing of the chemical and water takes place. Also, we can use some activated charcoal to accelerate the reactions. Also, we need to add coagulants like alum, specifically in the case of cold lime soda process, because in case of cold lime soda process, the sedimentation of the precipitate, of fine precipitate, is the problem. But if we talk about hot lime soda process, where already the temperature is very high, so there we do not require any kind of coagulant, because the process is already very fast and the amount of precipitation is high, so they easily coagulate and settle down. Now, as we have already discussed that we have two types of processes, that is cold and hot. So let us discuss in brief what are these. So this is a picture of a cold lime soda softener. Here you can see a conical tank. In between we have a stirrer. This is a stirrer through which the chemicals and the chemical is mixed with the water thoroughly. So we have an inlet here, we have here two inlet, one for chemicals, as you can see here. This is an inlet for chemicals. So in cold lime soda process, we need to add lime along with soda plus some amount of coagulant for better settlement of the precipitate. And the second inlet is for the hard water. So both the inlets are present at the top of the column, and the inlets, through this inlet the raw water is taken into the softener along with the reagents, and then with the use of a stirrer these chemicals are then mixed with the water. So here you can see the stirrer is present. So this stirrer is used to mix the chemicals with the reagents. So after proper mixing of the chemicals, when all the soluble impurities are converted into insoluble precipitate, then they are here removed. They are removed out through the what do we say, from the outlet, soften water outlet. So these soft water is then removed from the outlet before moving out. This water is basically filtered through this wood filter. So here you can see the wood filter is present. So this wood filter allows the turbidity of the water to remain in the filter, and the water which is free from salt and any kind of turbidity is then removed from the water outlet. You can see here there is a sedimentation column. Conical column is seen here. So this conical tank, which is known as sedimentation tank, here the precipitate which is left after the reaction, which is in the form of sludge, is taken out from the downwards. So this column, this conical tank, the bottom of the conical tank has an opening through which the sludge which is formed after the process can be removed. So this is a continuous cold lime soda softener. Here the temperature is basically a room temperature. Now let us see how the hot lime soda process works. In hot lime soda process, again we have a reaction mixture chamber. It has an inlet from the top, as you can see. This is a hot water feed. So through this the water is entered into the chamber. To this there is an inlet for superheated steam, so that the temperature raises up to 100 degrees Celsius. Now there is also an inlet present for the chemicals. So now chemicals which we use here is only lime and soda. Coagulants are not needed in the hot lime soda process. Now after proper mixing of the chemicals, the precipitate which is formed is taken out from this tank, from the bottom of this tank, whereas the fine water which is free from the precipitate is then taken out to the filter tank. So from here the water which is softened is taken out from the reaction tank, and then it is allowed to move into the filter tank. So this is a filter tank. As you can see, this is the filter tank. Here we have three types of filter: fine sand filter, coarse and gravel filter. So after allowing the water to pass through this filter, so all types of turbidities and impurities are removed here, and finally we will get a filtered soft water at the bottom. So this is the process of this is the hot lime soda process. So the only difference is that here the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Moreover, we never use coagulants here. So let us see what are the difference between hot and cold lime soda process. Cold lime soda process usually occurs at room temperature, whereas hot process occurs around 100 degree. Cold process is a slow process, whereas hot process is rapid. Use of coagulant is must in cold lime soda process, whereas coagulants are not required in hot lime soda process. Softened water has a residual hardness of 60 ppm. So here we get a residual hardness of 60 ppm, whereas in hot process only 30 ppm of residual hardness is obtained. Dissolved gases are not removed in the cold lime soda process, whereas in hot process the dissolved gases are removed. So if we compare cold with hot process, then hot process is much more efficient than the cold one. So let us take a look on the advantages of this process. So this process is economical. Hot lime soda process is much faster than the cold process. During this process, pH value of water is also increased. So hence the corrosion of the pipe is reduced. Besides the removal of hardness, the quantity of minerals in water also reduce. Due to alkaline nature of water, amount of pathogenic bacteria in water, it is also being removed. So it requires less amount of coagulant. Let us see about the disadvantages. The softened water has a residual hardness of 30 ppm. So we cannot say that this process give softened water with 0 ppm residual hardness. So after treating the water with hot lime soda process also, we usually have a residual hardness of 30 ppm. We usually get a residual hardness of 30 ppm. Disposal of large amount of sludge is a problem. That is, after the chemical reaction we usually get a large amount of sludge. So this sludge disposal is a problem after the operation. So careful operation and skilled supervision is required for efficient treatment of water. So this process require a careful observation. So this is all about the lime soda process. Hope you all liked it. Thank you.